got a good voice.
Does he, though?
Yeah, his voice is not for us, Nick.
Who's it for?
It's for the girls.
I don't even know what's for them.
It's for the girls.
I'm going to need some proof on that one.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to need to see some data on that. Hello and welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List, and today we're taking a trip to the future.
To the future.
Yeah, we're getting a little progressive here today.
We are progressive.
We are. But timeline wise, we're just jump to a different timeline and everything like that. Yeah. It's just kind of one of those crazy coincidences. Furiosa and Atlas both coming out this weekend. Both movies taking place in a distant or not too distant future. So that kind of got me wondering, what are some of the best and worst different distant future timeline movies? I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to say this.
Yeah.
Movie that came out that was set in a distant future that was either a little post-apocalyptic, maybe a little futuristic, anything in between. What are some of the best and worst ones here?
Yeah.
And how we're kind of determining best and worst ones here is which is the most livable or which one is the most dangerous.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you want to start with? You want to start with livable or dangerous here? I mean, I have it.
I got a livable one.
You want to start with livable?
Yeah.
Which one? This is essentially the future movie setting that you would most want to, if we were to pluck you out of this timeline, out of this reality, put you in this one.
So that's kind of a weird one, but I would actually like Ready Player One. And it's kind of different because obviously the people and much of everything is the same, except for cities are way overpopulated, but you get to spend all your time and actually make money and do things in the virtual world. And there's so many Stephen King, Stanley Kubrick references and all kinds of things that are like, oh, I liked the movie. I haven't read the book, but the movie was good. Yeah,
you'd probably find me on that racetrack. I wouldn't mind that I keep losing.
Yeah.
I'll just keep running into people.
Just keep playing.
Yeah, I'll just keep playing. Exactly. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That is a good one because it is not too distant, but also could be argued maybe predicting a few things that we're kind of seeing nowadays, more with the virtual video gaming and the goggles and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that sort of future actually happening. So you might actually get your wish. Hopefully I don't get mine because mine's a little bit more of a dark one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is my most livable one. And I'm cheating a little bit here. Death Race 2000, obviously set in the year 2000, but came out in 1975.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do this future, you may ask? Well, I love racing.
Yeah.
And it's worth mentioning, you don't have to kill the people in this version. You get points, but I would see it as a better challenge to
win and not kill.
And not kill.
Yeah.
That's how I would show off how awesome
it's kind of like
am.
the evolved Destruction Derby, except you take it to the next level.
It's in real life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think any distant future where racing is kind of America's national pastime, I'm all in.
All in.
Sign me up for that.
Let's go.
So, Death Race 2000, that's the one I kind of want to live in here. But again, I wouldn't kill anyone, so it's just not... Don't at me. But speaking of which, most dangerous. This is the one we would least likely want to live in. The one we would have maybe the less chance of survival.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go first on this one here too?
The least chance of survival, I would have to go with kind of a fun futuristic movie, Edge of Tomorrow, where the alien AI alien super race kind of take over, and I wouldn't be the cool Tom Cruise main character person. You'd be
the Emily Blunt.
I would be the Emily Blunt that did it once, and now I'm just this BA person. And then this guy comes up to me, and then every once in a while I just get to say, all right, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
But at the same time, that movie is set up to be like, there's little to no chance for humanity.
Yeah.
Like there is that small win they kind of say in the prologue and whatever, but you kind of find out, spoiler alert, that was sort of a trap laid by the aliens and everything like that. Yeah. When are we going to get that Edge of Tomorrow 2?
I don't know.
I've been talking about it for forever.
Yeah, I'd really like to. I really enjoyed that movie. I don't think, I think it did okay when it came out, but I don't think it did as good as it should have done.
It did okay for most movies. It didn't do okay for a Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt time-traveling action flick.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Yeah. Is that any other movie, it would have been great, probably, but it was the fact that it was this big Tom Cruise summer blockbuster, and there's a lot of people who talked about, like, well, the title was too confusing.
Yeah, and didn't they, because they changed the title, didn't they?
The book title was different than the movie title, and then they kind of sort of changed the movie title during like the DVD release.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember what the book title was, but it was even longer, more complicated. The movie title was Edge of Tomorrow, and then they essentially kind of changed it to Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, like because like I want to say like early in the marketing, it was like Live, Die, Repeat. Like it was that, and then it was like Edge of Tomorrow. It's like, oh, and then it was like Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, or Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, or something.
Just,
and then
it was just confusing.
Like, did they change the title? Like that? Just I kept thinking that, and
yeah. You didn't know what the movie was about. What the movie was about was this awesome time manipulation flick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Pretty dangerous one as well. Would you want to get that alien glue on you? Keep repeating the day if you kept dying or something like that?
There's times where I would definitely say yes, but then like I don't necessarily know if I would. Like there's so many like Happy Death Day and Groundhog Day, and there's so many other movies that have and it's like I don't know if I would be. Eventually I'd have to figure it out. I'd probably die thousands of times, but you'd have to figure it out.
Okay, so the one, I guess mine isn't the most dangerous, but the one I would least likely to live in. Like yours is definitely the most dangerous. Mine's the least likely I'd want to live in. The Judge Dredd universe. Doesn't really matter which one, Stallone one, the recent one, whatever it is. I do not want to live in that universe because, the way the cops work in that, how they are judge, jury, executioner.
Yep.
I'm a very argumentative person. Now, I have not been pulled over, but I feel like if I did, I would argue too much, or I would kind of counter.
I think you're right.
And you don't want to do that with these guys, first of all, because they are very trigger happy, quite literally.
Yeah, they'll get you.
Yeah, and I don't want my car getting blown up over parking violation, which is definitely what happened in that Stallone one, by the way.
Yep.
But the other reason why I would least want to live in this universe is because of those mega towers. Do you know how many stairs are in those things?
Yeah, true.
And I do not have great sources of income. I'm not getting the ground floor. I'm probably going to have to be at the top.
True.
I'm not going to climb those stairs every day. And you think the elevator's going to be open every time?
No.
No, sir.
And if you have to wait for the elevator, you might be waiting a couple of minutes. You might wait 10 minutes just for the elevator.
It's a crime-ridden hexscape, and I'm not for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to live through that. And you got all these, and I'm going to be on edge. A cop is going to get me for some little thing, some littering or whatever. And I'm going to go like, screw you. And he's going to shoot me in the knee.
Yeah.
Because that's how they roll. And I just don't see myself surviving very well in that future timeline.
I agree.
The stairs alone would kill me. If the judges didn't get me, the stairs would for sure. So yeah, I took the little bit of least livable a little too personally there, I feel like.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what you gotta do.
I think you'd do pretty good in that universe.
You'd bond with
you'd become a judge.
I'd probably become a judge.
And then you'd be like the nice judge.
I'd be the good judge.
You'd be the one everyone wants to get pulled over.
Yeah.
So just to kind of cap off this a little bit of the opening spotlight here. Favorite movie set in the future. Doesn't necessarily have to do with the environment, just favorite movie kind of set in the future in general. I'll let you go first here on this one as well.
You're not going to like it. I can already tell you're not going to like it.
I'm not going to like it because I don't like that movie, or because you think you're going to take mine.
No, I'm not going to take yours. Okay. I'd be very surprised if you take mine.
Okay. Yeah, well, let us know. What do you got?
Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do two. Two films.
Okay.
One, 2001: A Space Odyssey. I love it. Set in the future. We're going to Jupiter. There's aliens. There's AI. There's murder. Great film. If you can understand what the first 30 minutes are about and the last 30 minutes are about, please let me know. I've thought about that for a very long time, and I don't have a solid answer. Yep.
And the middle part is great.
Middle part's great.
But that first 30 and Last 30, I'm like, what are we doing here, man?
Like, I need a little... And trust me, if you got a wacky idea, I want to hear it. I've heard and read and watched a lot of ideas, and they're all right. So, and then the other one I would actually say is kind of going back further. I would go to Metropolis. This is an old German expression film. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's available here on campus. So if you get a chance, come check it out. But it's beautifully shot. It's I want to say in like the 1920s or 30s, and it kind of shows a futuristic world, and it's just fascinating. I love older movies, and it's great. If you get a chance, check it out. There's so many, like The Simpsons, Family Guy, all those people pay homage to it in certain cutaways and things. So it's you've probably seen clips of it. And I always talk to, like, when people think of the traditional flying cars and like trains running through the sky, like Metropolis did that, and they did it first on and actually made like little trains and like cars on like wires and stuff. Like,
well, and I especially think that, especially for Metropolis, is so impressive because cars had not been around for that long.
Yeah.
So it's harder to predict accurately where a certain piece of technology is the sooner it's been invented and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, if you saw what Alexander Graham Bell came up with the telephone, that in any way, shape, or form would you think it would eventually turn into this.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way. So yeah, you're right. The fact that they got, I mean, that's pretty much how we kind of picture still today.
Yeah.
Futuristic civilization. So yeah, they nailed it. So yeah, I'd say good picks there. My issues with your obsession with Kubrick's side, 2001 is also a good one as well. It's more good than it is confusing. I can't even call it bad. It's just confusing.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful. I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm confused, but darn, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great. It's like, oh, cool.
Probably one of my favorite ones set in the quote unquote not too distant future. I can't remember the year this is set. I want to say it's got to be pretty close at this point. Snowpiercer. One of Chris Evans' best performances, I would say.
Yeah, and I don't think that film got a whole lot of recognition.
It did not, no.
And it's a great movie, and he's phenomenal at it.
Oh, yeah. It's got very interesting action because, I mean, for those of you who don't know, it all takes place on this train. So you can't do these giant, like, he can't be Captain America there. It's very cramped.
Yeah.
It's very, like, there's parts where he's, like, fighting and they're shoulder to shoulder. And there's, oh my gosh, that shootout scene where they're curving around each other. I totally forgot about that for a second.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, there's great action moments. There's great acting. There's a lot of good, I would say, societal commentary and everything like that. Yeah, just overall, I think it's a very good one. I don't know. Does it necessarily? I don't think it ends on as happy of an ending as it wants us to think it does.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Definitely not. Because spoiler, those two kids, they're dead, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna die. Like, there's a polar bear right there who probably hasn't eaten in a week.
Yeah, no,
they're gone. They're done.
Humanity's
out. We're done. Okay. Anyways, so you muted us up there during that, right, Carter? They didn't hear any of that. Okay, cool.
Good.
Cool. This one may be the most difficult one for me here. The number 6 seed, Footloose, versus the number 11 seed, Karate Kid. Who's voting Footloose? Who's voting Karate Kid? I thought I was going to have to fight for that one. Nope. I thought for sure I was going to have to fight for that one. I had like a whole argument ready to go.
Sorry,
he just crane kicked Footloose out of here. No more dancing. I'm going to get heat from my mom on that one. Anyway, so yeah, that wraps up this discussion here. Let's go into the weekly preview. This is where we're going to talk a little bit more about what's coming up here this weekend, talking about more futuristic timelines. One of my most anticipated movies of the summer, I think, is coming out this weekend, Friday, May 24th. Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, coming to theaters. This is the prequel that is set before Mad Max Fury Road, which came out 2015. Sometime after the original trilogy, however, I'm not sure how far at least, but I believe this movie's set in like 2030.
Yeah.
So quite a ways away.
Yep. Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, quite a ways away from the original.
Trilogy. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
In 2015, the character of Furiosa was introduced to audiences thanks to Charlize Theron. This movie will star Anya Taylor-Joy as a younger Furiosa and her whole origin story. The movie also stars Chris Hemsworth with more makeup and hair than I think he had on during all of the Thor films combined.
Yeah.
He's got quite a beard going there on that one.
Yeah, except for maybe when he was chunky Thor.
Even then, I think he outgrew it.
True. Maybe.
Well, the makeup people put it on him or whatever. He's going bonkers in a good way here on this one. He's having some fun with his character for sure. As sort of I guess sort of the hype man of the group.
Yeah. He's like the
He's kind of the commander. Like, hey, let's get it going. Let's go.
Yeah. I would say hype man. That's a good word. Because he's definitely not in charge. No. But he's like he's there for everything. Yeah.
He's
a solid number 2.
He's the Dwight Schrute of this, in that he is second in command, but he's clearly speaking the loudest.
Yeah.
And thinks he probably has more power than he actually does.
Yes.
And kind of gets everyone motivated in a weird way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everyone wants to kill him.
Yeah. That's a really good analogy.
Just came up with that. Top of the noggin right here.
Top of the noggin.
Some of this is planned. Some of this, I don't even know where it comes from, folks.
It's magic.
Hey, that's classified. I don't think I can say any more good. There's only good things I can say about this movie. I can't tell you how hyped I am for this.
It's going to be awesome. I remember the first one, how hyped I was for it, and then watching it, and it blew my expectations. And this one, I'm hoping the same thing.
See, I think with Mad Max Fury Road, I don't think I had seen the trailers or anything like that. Like I didn't really know who George Miller was. I didn't know what the Mad Max saga was. Like that was the first one I went into, completely just not knowing what to expect. Yeah. And my jaw dropped within the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it didn't really slow down since the beginning of that movie. So I expect even more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mr. Miller's going to deliver.
Yeah, I can't wait.
From the same guy who brought us Happy Feet 2.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
Sometimes you got to do it for a paycheck. Yep. I just love bringing up the fact that he directed that animated Penguin movie and this within like the same decade.
Yeah, it's got to do what you got to do.
I'm not judging. I'm saying it's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's awesome. So that's coming out here this weekend. Also premiering here to theaters, the Garfield movie. A lot of orange going to be on screens here.
Yeah.
A lot of orange color palette with Furiosa. You got an orange cat. It's very fat. Takes up a lot of the screen.
A lot of lasagna. That's orangish yellow.
Yeah, it's an orangish yellow. I mean, you can get it mixed together. Garfield first appeared in comic strips back in 1978. Then many decades later, made its way onto the big screen. Now the orange cat is getting the animated movie treatment as it's being voiced by Chris Pratt. This was obviously a big deal when it was announced. People weren't too excited about this one. Now that we've sort of, it's been a while now.
Yep.
We've kind of calmed down. What do we think of this casting now?
I think the same thing that happened with Super Mario Brothers. People were up in arms right away. And then as it got closer, things calmed down. And then once you actually watch the movie, it's like, oh, this actually works. This fits. And I thought he did a fine job in Super Mario. I wouldn't say great.
And I think he did less than a fine job, personally.
I think he did fine.
And I think I still kind of stand by what I'm saying here. I don't get why he's getting picked for all these animated voices.
It's got a good voice.
Does he, though?
Yeah. His voice is not for us, Nick.
Who's it for?
It's for the girls.
I don't even know what's for them.
It's for the girls.
I'm going to need some proof on that one.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to need to see some data on that. I'm sure he will be fine. I just feel like there are better voices. I mean, to be fair, also, it's hard to follow up Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was on autopilot doing this voice, and I feel like he still did better.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't care.
Paycheck, man.
Did you? Okay, so this is the rumor I heard of how he got suckered into that role. Because I don't know if you've heard, there's like a whole process to get Bill Murray to do your movie. I don't remember all the steps or whatever, but from what I remember hearing, whoever directed that first live-action Garfield movie, I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Cohen. Not the Coen brothers, but last name Cohen. But Bill Murray heard, hey, this Cohen guy wants to do a Garfield movie, and he wants you to be part of it. He assumed it was one of the Coen brothers, and that's why he kind of signed on it. That's the rumor I heard. I can't confirm that. That's just the story I heard. And I think that's hilarious as heck. And I like to think that is why now he has this whole process to be part of his movie, because he fell for that trap in the early 2000s. He's like, never again. Nope. I'm not falling for that again. But, that's on him for not doing a background check.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that's
really
pretty good.
Funny.
And they did 2 of those movies. He got suckered in twice. I would say this is going to be a good one here because the cinemas need a new animated movie to bring in some new blood here. I think this is going to be overall a very good weekend. I'm curious if you agree with this. I see both of these movies doing very good. I don't see really one of them siphoning off the other.
Yeah, I don't either. They're both going to bring in good numbers. But you're right, the demographics are vastly different. So we'll see.
Cuz obviously you're not going to take your family to Furiosa.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who go see Furiosa aren't going to skip it to go see Garfield.
Yeah.
I see almost a scenario where it's like a father and a mother bring their kids to the theater. They go into Garfield. The dad's like, I'm going to sleep out, go to the bathroom, and then goes into the Furiosa quick and tries to watch it there or whatever, something like that. I see that scenario coming up, but I don't see... I think it'll be... What I'm trying to say here is I think there's going to be a very interesting box office battle here. Yeah. Not quite to the level of Barbenheimer, but I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, not to that level, but it'll be good. It'll be good.
Also coming out this weekend, Atlas, coming straight to Netflix, also set in the not-too-distant future. An AI has gone rogue. No plot twist there. And a bunch of human characters are sent to go and defeat it. Along the way, Jennifer Lopez's character learns to trust a certain AI and open her mind to new ideas. The movie also stars Sterling K. Brown, Mark Strong, and Simi Liu as the rebellious AI. Is it just me, or does this movie about AI feel like it was written by an AI in an attempt to get people to like AI?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one.
It's very much like, hey, an artificial intelligence has gone bad. Not all artificial intelligence is bad. Like, are they trying to like race-splain AI?
Maybe. Because, like, there's so many better movies about AI going bad, like Ex Machina. Like, I was going to bring that up as one of my favorite ones earlier. Absolutely love that film. That's great. This one,
it's the part of it is that the trailer itself seems so cliche, hit the same beats.
Yes.
As like the reluctant hero doesn't want to trust this one person, or in this case, robot, that it's like, you kind of feel like the script was written by AI.
Yeah.
And in the process, the artificial intelligence was like, I'm going to try and convince more of humanity to like AI.
So we can take them over easier.
Yeah,
later.
Exactly. Like, I don't think that's actually what's happening, but it kind of feels like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know how Cartman's going to fit in those space suits.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. There we go.
Lopez.
We got to make that reference every time a Jennifer Lopez movie comes along, don't we?
Oh, hey, man.
All right, let's wrap things up here with the final one, The Beach Boys, coming to Disney+. This is a documentary film that discusses the history of the hit music group, The Beach Boys. Full disclosure, I'm not as familiar with this band as I am others and everything like that. I know some of their music. I know how big they were, just not the biggest Beach Boy extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Just how I was raised. I don't know. I didn't realize they had such a rivalry with the Beatles, but now that I think about it, it does make sense.
Yeah.
You always kind of need some other artist or whatever to kind of push the other one to kind of do better.
Mm-hmm. You need that. Nothing you can do is going to be easy. Like they always talk about in like sports, like Larry needed Magic, and like they need each other to feed off each other. And
yeah, exactly. So I think that is kind of interesting. It would be kind of interesting to check this out just to kind of see that rivalry on the screen and everything. And I guess when we say rivalry, I don't know if they like really actually hated each other, but they did push each other to do better, to get more exposure, to do different things, going on talk shows, all that sort of stuff. Stuff that we see bands do every day nowadays. That was a new thing back then.
Yeah.
And that's one of the nice things about rivalries in all industries is it pushes the envelope.
It breeds us to innovation.
Exactly. There we go. That's a better way to say it. Thank you.
Yep. No, I think it'll be good. I like the Beach Boys. I'm kind of similar to you. I'm not like a super fan. I do like some of their music. I do have some of their albums on vinyl. So like I like them.
That's retro.
But I'm also not a Beatles super fan. I don't have all of their albums and know all of their songs. So, but you're right. Nowadays it feels there's a lot more Beatles history stuff. So this will be a good, the Beach Boys. I should learn about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But with that, let's wrap things up like we usually do with another edition of Number One Recommends. I'll kick us off here this time. I'm only halfway through. I'm sure I'll update you when I finish it here, but X-Men 97. I've heard a lot of the hype. Watched the first half of the season, got through the first 5 episodes. Really enjoy it so far. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy it. Part of that is just because the X-Men characters and that whole division of Marvel may be one of my favorite parts of the Marvel Comics universe in general. So it kind of had that going into it. But I mean, I think the animation is really good. It still kind of looks like that 90s style, but like updated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the characters are really good. The action is great. Really fun, really kinetic, really inventive. If you're a Marvel fan in general, I think you're going to really like this one for sure. What about you? Got anything you want to recommend?
We watched Unfrosted, Jerry Seinfeld's new Netflix movie. Definitely thought parts of it were pretty funny, were very funny. I would say if you're not a fan of Seinfeld or his kind of style of comedy, then you might not be a fan of this movie. I liked it. I thought a lot of it was trying very hard. But there are so many cameos, so many little fun things that I really enjoyed it. It's definitely you have to be in a certain mood to watch it. You got to be in the mood for some Jerry Seinfeld.
Let me just ask you this one question. Yep. Better or worse than the B movie?
You know, I've only seen about half the B movie.
Okay, first half better or worse than the B movie?
I liked it better than the B movie.
Okay, that's all we need to know then.
I didn't, So it's pretty good though. That's what, it's not recommended for everybody, but it's, if you're a Jerry Seinfeld fan, you'll probably like it. If you like Melissa McCarthy, she's great. A lot of people in there are pretty funny.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. Check out our social media channels. I'll put those on the screen here. Ta-da. Check those out. We sometimes post our reviews when we're done coming out of the theater.
Yep.
Right as we're walking out, we hit record. We let you know our thoughts. I do other reviews, other posts, stuff like that. You can check that out over on our social media channels. With that, that's going to do it for us here. For myself and Ryan Myberg, I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.